We're live. Alright, welcome back. I'm Pastor Doug. As you can see, Rowan's not here tonight. He is with some friends. I believe they've gone to watch Sonic the Hedgehog. So, that's where he is this evening. So, you're stuck with just me for our moment of joy. A couple of things. First thing I want to do is invite you out on Sunday. I know I talked about it last night, but seriously, Heidi and I, we went and picked up all the groceries today. We got lots of food, and we're really looking forward to spending Sunday night with you. So, 5 o'clock out at the Community Center in St. Williams. We want to see you there. So, tonight's 20th. We're in the home stretch. What do we got? 4 days left of our adventure in Luke. Sunday night, you come, we'll light the candle. Well, we'll probably do that on our moment of joy. We probably won't do that at the dinner, but yeah. And then I want to invite you out Christmas Eve, Tuesday night, for candlelight service, where we will be lighting the candles. Well, not these ones. We've got the proper colors over at the school, the classroom. So yeah, we'll see you. Love to see you there as well. So, we're continuing on our adventure in Luke. We're going to read from Luke chapter 20. One day as Jesus was teaching the people in the temple courts and proclaiming the good news, the chief priests and teachers of the law, together with the elders, came up to him. "Tell us by what authority you are doing these things," they said. "Who gave you this authority?" He replied, "I will ask you a question. Tell me, John's baptism, was it from heaven or human origin?" They discussed it among themselves and said, "If we say from heaven, he will ask, 'Why didn't you believe him?' And if we say of human origin, all the people will stone us, because they are persuaded that John was a prophet." So they answered, "We don't know where it came from." Jesus said, "Neither will I tell you by what authority I am doing these things." He went on to tell the people this parable. A man planted a vineyard, rented it to some farmers, and went away for a long time. At harvest time he sent the servant of the tenants so they would give him some of the fruit of the vineyard. But the tenants beat him and sent him away empty-handed. And he sent another servant, but that one also they beat, treated shamefully, and sent away empty-handed. He sent still a third, and they wounded him and threw him out. Then the owner of the vineyard said, "What shall I do? I will send my son, whom I love. Perhaps they will respect him." But when the tenants saw him, they talked matters over. "This is the heir," they said. "Let's kill him, and the inheritance will be ours." So they threw him out of the vineyard and killed him. What then will the owner of the vineyard do to them? He will come and kill those tenants and give the vineyard to others. When the people heard this, they said, "God forbid." Jesus looked directly at them and asked, "Then what is the meaning of that which is written? The stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone." Everyone, I'm picturing that, like, you see those memes where the gangster, ding, 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 and the sunglasses come on? Yeah. Anyways, everyone who falls on that stone will be broken to pieces. Anyone who falls will be crushed. The teachers of the law and the chief priests looked for a way to arrest him immediately, because they knew he had spoken this parable against them. But they were afraid of the people. Keeping a close watch on him, they sent spies who pretended to be sincere. They hoped to catch Jesus in something he said, so they might hand him over to the power and authorities of the governor. So the spies questioned him. "Teacher, we know that you speak and teach what is right, and that you do not show partiality, but teach us the way of God in accordance with the truth. Is it right for us to pay taxes to Caesar or not?" He saw through their duplicity and said to them, "Show me a denarius. Whose image an inscription is on it. Caesar's, they replied. And he said to them, then give back to Caesar what is Caesar's, and to God what is God's. And they were unable to trap him in what he had said in public, and were astonished by his answers. They became silent. Some of the Sadducees, who say there is no resurrection, came to Jesus with a question. Teacher, they said, Moses wrote to us that if a man's brother dies and leaves a wife but no children, the man must marry the widow and raise up offspring for his brother. Now there were 7 brothers. The first one married a woman and died childless. The second one and the third married her. In the same way, the 7 died, leaving no children. Finally, the woman died too. Now in the resurrection, whose wife will she be, since the 7 were married to her? Jesus replied, the people of this age marry and are given in marriage, but those who are considered worthy of taking part in the age to come and in the resurrection from the dead will neither marry nor be given in marriage, and they can no longer die, for they are like the angels. They are God's children. They are children of the resurrection. But in the account of the burning bush, even Moses showed that the dead rise, for he calls the Lord the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. He is not the God of the dead, but of the living, for to him all are alive. Some of the teachers of the law responded, well said, teacher. And no one dared ask him any more questions. Then Jesus said to them, why is it said that the Messiah is the son of David? David himself declares in the book of Psalms, the Lord said to my Lord, sit at my right hand, until I make your enemies a footstool for your feet. David calls him Lord. How then can he be his son? While the people were listening, Jesus said to the disciples, beware of the teachers of the law. They like to walk around in flowing robes and love to be greeted with respect in the marketplaces and have the most important seats in the synagogues and the places of honor at the banquets. They devour widows' houses and for show make lengthy prayers. These men will be punished most severely. All right. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments, and I will address them tomorrow. I just, it's Christmas time, and we sing songs like Silent Night, and we talk about Jesus being mild. Jesus was not mild. I mean, we look at this, he's calling out the Herodians, who were like, supporting the king, and he's calling out the Pharisees and the Sadducees. He's calling out all these authorities because, it almost sounds sacrilege, but it's not, to call Jesus gangsta. Like, he just was a radical. Yes, he tells us to give to Caesar what's Caesar's, but what he also says, give to God what is God's, and everything is God's. And that's the point of that our life belongs to him. So our money it doesn't matter. Yeah, give it to the taxes, pay the government, who cares? Because what's important is that you live for Jesus. Yeah. And yeah, he got in trouble, and he got killed. And we're called to pick up our cross and follow him. Which means we might get in trouble, we might be radical. So I encourage you, get in trouble. Don't bend the knee to anybody but God. Not David, not Herod, not Caesar.